Welcome to Life Talk. This is a podcast where we discuss issues within the Ethiopian and Eritrean community. Today's conversation is about masculinity and femininity crisis within our community.
We haven't been able to maintain relationships for long. Marriage, falling apart, and we're in second relationship, third relationship. When are we going to be successful and keep a relationship? 7th, 8th. Now people don't want to pursue anything, you know. As you say, even they don't see value in marriage. They don't see value in building family. And how are gonna kids grow up in this kind of context? What kind of generation are we gonna angry, frustrated, hate toward the society, and violent, and all that, and crime? So how can society continue like this, thrive in this? How is it gonna go work? It doesn't work. It is not going to work. It is gonna fail.
Right.
And when it's gonna fail, we all fail.
Exactly.
It's not working. We see it. Keep why do you keep breaking relationships and want to find a flourishing relationship in the second one, the third one? Why doesn't it work in the first one, in the second one? So this is gonna be affecting our workplace. It's going to be affecting society and in all directions. So I think one thing that Nathan said is we need models, who would act like men like acting like men, and we need to have
and women acting like women.
We need to know what it means to be a man, and we need to know we've lost that in this culture. We have lost. What does it mean to be a woman?
Right.
What does it mean a man? We've lost it. Even in this emerging culture, there is neither men or women. There is nothing. There is emptiness, delusion. There is confusion. It's nihilistic. Yeah. It doesn't exist.
Right.
It's just a social construct. It's not real. It's illusion. Right. Being man is illusion. Being woman is just what society creates. But it is not. It is real. It is not illusion. It is not a social construct. It is there out. And even if we try to deny it, it will affirm itself. We can't. We can't avoid it. Right. It will be there. It will find us.
Exactly.
It will find you. So how can we encourage men become men and women become women? As a result, there will be thriving community. There will be complementarity. There will be harmony, harmony within us, among us, at home, in society, in schools, everywhere. So model is one thing. What else do we need? Read. Come on.
I feel like it's accessible. That's something we need to understand. I know we're addressing the problem right now, and we're addressing a lot of the problem, but I want people to know that the design, God's design, the harmony that we're talking about, it's very much accessible.
Yeah.
It's not out of reach.
Yes.
That's what I want people to be encouraged and understand. But these conversations need to happen. We need to understand the problem, because God doesn't work if we have the problem bottled up. I've seen that in my life. I've seen that through experiences. If we constantly live in pride, thinking, oh, we're fine, there doesn't need to be a fix when the world's in chaos. There needs to be a fix. God brings life. He does not bring death. Death is from the enemy. So identifying that and understanding that, and moving towards harmony means really identifying the problem and realizing that there is a solution and it is accessible.
Cool. Yeah. I love what you said about the family. So 40% of all American households don't have a dad in that household.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds right.
40%.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is that within the prison and jail population, the men have far more testosterone than the men in the general public. So society there's not enough men walking around. There's not enough and unfortunately these men in prison we're losing leaders as they're falling through the cracks because there's not enough avenues for them to pursue. even when it comes to being a provider, I mean, it's very difficult to be a provider, you know, just having a professional job in the first place.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the only way you can really provide in a substantial way is to be an entrepreneur, is to generate revenue. Of course, you can be in the STEM field or use that degree and leverage that, you know, for a high-paying job. But it can only take you so far.
The system.
The system. So unfortunately, the qualities that it takes to be a strong leader, you know, to be a person who takes risks, to be a person who has courage, you know, a lot of those guys are in prison. And those are the guys that the women want. These strong, you know, fearless men. You know what I mean? There's not enough avenues for them to pursue or to continue to be that way in a legal way, you know, and be that strong outside of entrepreneurship. So I guess maybe we need to encourage men to channel that energy, to channel that masculinity, that ability to lead fearlessly into, you know, entrepreneurship. Maybe we need to see more of that in our community.
So, Ruby, you're trying to say that we need to mentor, coach, you know, main boys, you know.
Yes, we need Ethiopian men in the in Eritrean men within the DMV, wherever you're watching this, to broaden your responsibility outside of your family, and to start looking at the young men in your community. Start talking to them. Start picking them up after school. Start if you see them doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, be that male role model in their life. Be that for them, because they don't have their dads to do that. Their dads either are gone or overworked and don't have energy to communicate with them, or don't have enough information, or not being a man that their son needs themselves. So we need we need successful, strong, traditional masculine men to step up and start mentoring the young people in your life, your you know, your family, your cousins, the younger people in your life. You know, when you go to these, you know, family gatherings, start getting their phone numbers, start connecting with them, start calling them, start being involved in their formation as a man.
Truly, yes.
They can also mentor.
Also, dads. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, I feel like they can also mentor the dads that are so busy, because you're never really that busy. I don't know. I feel like with how America is set up, we think that we don't have enough time because we're so exhausted. But if you pick yourself up one day and then do it again the next day and cause yourself to like do something different outside of your routine of working, like your life should not just be your work. Step outside of your comfort zone and like your everyday, and try to like talk to your kids, you know? Like it doesn't just have to be a mentor. It could be the dad themselves, you know, really like
to
prioritize.
to moms, to dads, to model what it means to be a mom and what it means to be
we shouldn't give up hope, you know?
Both, you know, moms and dads at home, what it means to be loving, what it means to be
to change their lifestyle,
what it means submissive and respectful, and let mom show to the kids at home.
It's never too late.
Men, let them show them what it means to be caring and providing. When it comes to providing, it doesn't necessarily mean your available is so much important sometimes, you know, than the money you bring to home.
It's just your presence. Yeah.
It's your love, it's your care. What matters is the amount of love you put into that money.
That's what you were saying
earlier.
earlier.
The amount of care and love that you put in. You can bring, you know, so much money into the house, and if you're not available, it doesn't
it will not bear fruit.
It doesn't mean
you
anything.
know,
Sometimes
at
you
all.
think, oh, I did this to you. We did this to our family. We went out. We need to work so many hours, you know, making all this money. But at the end of the day, life is not all about money.
And you can't
It's
fill
much more
emptiness.
than money. Why do we reduce life to money? After all, why do we reduce someone's words to just money?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why we find words only in money?
Well,
You see?
a lot of Ethiopians are poor, so it is a big deal, though, right? Like that's a big thing. That's a pressing issue on a lot.
But
of
when you
so we are in an interesting, you know, predicament in that like a lot of us don't got the money.
But
why
the
do you
money will come.
You know, at the end of the day, okay, you sacrifice your home. You know, you work 18 hours, 17 hours, 16 hours to trying to provide. You know, trying to do that. At the end of the day, this right now here in the DMV area, parents are crying out for their kids. At the end of the day, they made it, but they don't
They
need
missed
it
the
for
point.
their kids,
Yeah.
but their kids are not there. They're not there. They're lost. They're in jail.
That's true. Yeah.
Where would this benefit them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did it. We're not trying. I'm not trying to judge. Fathers and mothers. I know they do it out of good intention. They don't want. They do it not just out of evil intentions. I know it's trying to help their family succeed. Coming from a poverty background, coming from a place where you don't have so many opportunities to thrive. Yes, you got that opportunity. You have that opportunity to go to school. You have the opportunity to work, to make money, and you take advantage of that, and you become successful, maybe. But at the same time, in this culture, you lost your kids.
That's true. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what this benefit to your kid? You did it for the kids, but at the end of the day, right now, they didn't find value in that. Your kids, I would find value, much more value than in your present, with little money, with little resources, than you being absent in all these luxuries.
It's powerful.
Yeah. So men and women, father and mom, have to balance this. Yeah. And you said it right, Robbie. That there is a poverty that is context in that tries to, but we need from Ethiopian Eritrean perspective, from Ethiopian Eritrean community. But also we need to stand up against the cultural tide too, that says men and women are the same. No, they are not. We need to speak about this. We need to talk about that. They are not the same. They are different. They're equal in worth and dignity, but they are not the same.
That's
They're
beautiful.
different.
Equal in worth and dignity.
but not the same.
Not
We're
the same.
different.
Tell the viewers what's the difference between a man and a woman.
Come on, guys. Yeah.
I'm sure they are begging to
In-
know
in-
right
in-
now.
Just look at from biology. Let's begin with biology.
Okay.
The very, very basic biology with our DNA. This XY and XX. We're different. In our limbic system, we're different. In our reproductive system, we're different. In hormones, you see testosterone and estrogen creates different characters, drives, energies, aspirations. In our psychosocial makeup, in men tend to be outward, women tend to be inward. In the way we relate, we're different. And in terms of nurturing and leading, yes, we nurture. Women nurture, men produce. So there's so much that does not mean. Sometimes when we talk about they're not the same, people would take it to an extreme, and say that the men cannot do what women do, or women cannot do. No, that's not the point. You can right now you can play in American football. Women can go in. Men, you can train them. They can be muscular. That does not mean they can't do it. But is it what they are created for? Is it what they're designed for?
Right. Is it efficient?
Is it you have two shoes, right and left? You can wear two right shoe, or you can wear two left shoe. It's possible. Right. Yeah. But is that comfortable? Right. You're trying to be what you are not created to be. You're trying to be what you are not supposed to be. And there is nothing wrong in being a woman. There is nothing wrong with being a man. It's beautiful. Being a woman is beautiful. Being a man is beautiful. So let's understand who we are, and let's see reality as it is, and let's align ourselves with the reality. And then harmony comes, and we all win. Yeah. At the end, we all win. So we need to really advocate for the right understanding of what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. Of course, mentoring is good, modeling is good, but also there's a culture that is trying to tell us, yes, you're the same. There's no difference between men and women. Even now, there's nothing that we call men or women. Everything is a social construct. You
and
can
it's
be
so
a man
aggressive.
today, and
Yeah.
you can be a woman tomorrow. You can be a woman today, and you can be a man tomorrow. It's fluid. It's not real. It's illusion. It's not. It's real. It's there. And then let's embrace it. So we need to advocate as well. It's not. Sometimes when people hear about this discussion that we are doing, they may feel that we're talking from a religious perspective. No, we're talking from a reality perspective. This discussion will help you understand and see reality as it is. So we're not talking only just from a religious but we're talking from a reality point of view. See reality as it is. And this discussion will help that. So I think the advocating and presenting the truth. Sometimes, it seems that truth is being rejected. No, it is not presented well. We need to, sometimes people misunderstand us when we talk about men and women. You know, oh, this is misogyny, this is sexism, this is that. No. That's not what it is right now. You know, we're trying to understand what it means to be a woman. We're trying to understand what it means to be a man. And how can we complement one another and flourish
and
together?
function
And function
on
and
this
flourish
earth.
together.
Yeah.
And how do we bring harmony? Because our society, our nations are suffering from lack of that harmony. Families are breaking apart. Marriages are not intact. There is so much dysfunctional families, dysfunctional homes. As you said, that is absent. You know, look at the African American community. You know,
70% fatherless.
Fatherless. Even goes back to history, the colonialism and the slavery, how that affected Africa. Because men were taken out of community. Men were the ones who've been sold out. And what is left? Community was left with women and with girls and with women, with mothers and there is no a father figure, there is no husband in the community. And Africa still struggles from that brokenness. Even it struggles to get out of it because it is being broken at its root. And we need to rise up and repair that. Broken at its root. And as you see, the African American community, and there's a system, there is a policy, there is a way that so we need to tell the African American dad, to an African American husband, come on, go be a family person, take care of your kids, go back home. You know, sometimes there's so much incentive in being single woman. Here I see, if you're a single woman and that's living home,
Government
you're
will
gonna get this
provide.
government benefit.
Yeah, it's
What is
so
important? The government benefit or raising up kids and having a functional family and fulfilled as a person.
so that functional families will bear fruit. Like, so your kids can have a functional family. Their kids can have. It's really generational. It's really, really deep. So I feel like the world is trying to attack that design, attack that dynamic, and Christians, non-Christians, really let's step up and step forward. For Christians, we have a God who is the source of the design, and let's access him. Let's really talk to him. He can change anything overnight, but he sees our hearts and he sees our minds. If we're constantly bitter, if we're constantly angry, I'm talking to women, God cannot move. You know what I mean? He can't, you're blocking him to move. And you need to allow him to
Get
move.
over that.
Yeah, just get over it. Let it go.
Yes.
It's not worth it. You will thank yourself when you act the way God wants you to act, and he bears fruit for you, and he moves for you, and he moves for your husband, and he moves for your kids, and you see that, you will thank yourself. It's just that moment where you have to really fight your flesh and fight yourself and fight society and voices and the loudness and the aggression of this world. If you just step back and say, okay, God, this is how I want to react, right? I want to be angry because things are not aligning the way it's supposed to be, right? But I know you know better for me. This is powerful. Those words, that exchange with the Lord, it really changes the whole setting. And I promise you, he will come through. And you will thank yourself. Down the road, you'll look back and say, thank you, Jesus. And you will have so much peace.
Anything from Robbie?